What's going on, guys? Kids here, and welcome back to another weapons guide. So today we are talking about these guys, DEATHGIVERS. So basically, yeah, they are a new kinda like artifact weapons that are just implemented with the key update or whatever. So yeah, the plan is just to check them out, see how they go, and to give a tutorial guide for PvP, how to use them, and that sort of stuff. So I'll just start with the helmets. So basically we have 3 helmets. I usually only go with 1 or 2, but this time we have 3 and all of them are viable. So the first is Hellion Hood. Almost in every, basically in every melee class, I always put Hellion Hood. If it's used right, and if no other of your GVG members or whoever you're playing with has a Hellion Hood, in my opinion, at least one guy should. So if you're melee, always consider using that. So I would go with the Hellion Hood. Then the second hood is Hunter's Hood. In my opinion, the Hunter Hood is just broken right now. The Retaliate is really strong and really powerful. Or also, if you feel like you need a defensive, go with Soldier's Helmet. So basically for Soldier's Helmet, you just go with the block for that defensive. And of course, so if you go for Soldier's Helmet, use Toughness, you don't need the increased EC duration. If you either way use Hellion, go with attack speed, because this build will be mainly built with attack speed, especially with RQ. It will be mainly for attack speed, and I'll show you how to build all the stacks and how basically this class works. But in short, either way, I would recommend Hellion Hood or Hunter Hood. In my opinion, you want as much damage as you can, so building attack damage Hellion, in my opinion, is really good. Or if you need that a bit more damage, go with Hunter's Hood. But Hellion, in my opinion, is good that you can play it defensively as well as offensively, so you can basically do both things at the same time, depending on how you play it. So then we go with Assassin's Jacket. In my opinion, the ambush ability is really good. Of course, you can also change for Inferno Shield. In my opinion, ambush is better if you are playing it right. So whenever you have your 3 Qs, you go ambush, and then you do a lot of damage. That I will show you the Ghost Strike, how does it work. So basically, if you do that right, and of course you can also maximize your damage a bit more by 50% if you stay really long, so that's good. Or if you feel like you need a bit that defensive, and usually people are just like putting other spells to get you out of the ambush, then just go for Infernal Shield. And of course with this we also are putting to attack speed. One of the great things about this build is it's full leather, so basically you can just gather leather yourself and you have full armor set for you either way if you use the Hunter Hood. That is cheaper with Retaliate, or Hellion Hood. That's a bit more expensive, but still from leather. And then of course we go with Royal Shoes, and we go for Swiftness, of course attack speed as well. So then potions, I would go for Poison or Resistance. If you feel like you need a defensive, go for Resistance. For the damage, go Poison Potion, and then go for Stew, always in my opinion. Damage, 15% damage is really good. So basically then we go to DEATHGIVERS. So a really important thing is to use the second Q, that is Assassin's Spirit. So basically Assassin's Spirit increases your normal attack speed by 12% and normal attack damage by 30% for 7 seconds. And one of the best things is that I will show you right now. I can just Q. I don't need to put my Qs on the target. So for example, before the fight, I can already, you can see on the left corner I have already 2 Qs. One more Q and I'm ready to do really high damage, even not hitting them once. So that is really important, that you can play, if you play it really smart. For example, before even you see the team, you get your 3 Qs, and then you can right away go with really high damage, or they will need to purge you. So they will just basically waste a purge, just even the start will just start. So in my opinion, it's really good, and that's why you go for the second Q. The Sudden Armor is, other people say it's better and does a bit more damage, but in my opinion, Assassin's Spirit, if you play it right, is good. But of course, Sudden Armor is viable as well. And of course, the Sudden Armor also reduces their target's armor and magic resistance by 12%. And you can queue up the same thing, just you need to do that on the target. So yeah. So then we go with the W. In my opinion, go for the dash, or if you have leveled up, go for Shadow Edge. In my opinion, Shadow Edge is the best spell for daggers, but it's from, let's see, from which level. So they are basically from level 70. So if you fame up really hard and stuff, go with Shadow's Edge. It's really good. But if not, then just go with the dash. In my opinion, mobility is really important for this build, so you can just dash in, execute, or do a lot of damage and back off with royal shoes or whatever. So then, so Ghost Strike, basically how this basically works. So it's like a dash through an enemy, dealing 646 magical damage and reducing their subsequent energy cost by 50% for 3 seconds. And if you have all 3 stacks that we can do with Southern Armor, you can do the charge 2 times. So basically you can do 2 times damage, 2 times 650. So that's even like 1300 damage basically. And I'll show you how it works in just a second. And then for passive, we go either way with Deep Cut or attack speed. If you have leveled it up, in my opinion, attack speed is really good, and we are basically building this build for attack speed. So go with this attack speed ability. Of course, aggressive rush is still decent, that your damage is increased with every 4 normal attacks, but we are building this build around attack speed, so go with attack speed. So then, how these things work. So for example, I'll find any mob that I can see and I'll show you how it works. So basically, for example, we are getting our queue sub, so we are getting our first queue. For example, this tree is the player. So we are getting the second queue. We have the third queue. Then if we are using ambush, we just go ambush. We go close to the target, so basically they cannot see us. And then we do double dashes like you just saw. I press double E, and they did basically 1500 damage. I'll show it one more time without the ambush. Because with ambush, the thing is that you need, like, you don't have too much time because your stacks are about to fall off, and you want that increased damage. But I'll show you how it's without the ambush. It will be a bit clearer to see on this tree. So we have the first queue, second, one more queue, okay, the third queue, and then we do one dash and another dash with the 3 queues, and we basically did 1300 damage just at the start, and he was already at half health just from the beginning. So in my opinion, that's really big and really good. And the thing is that for this build, it's like something like a Bloodletter, in my opinion, even sometimes better. The thing is that you, for a defensive, you cannot dash away, you need a target, but still you can sometimes dash close to the target. That's really good and doing huge damage, even them being full health. So you like don't need to wait for them to be at 50% health or 40%. You can do right away, and you have still this dash to go in or out, and then you have the royal shoes to go in and out, and of course using defensive, the Hellion Hood. And of course, if you don't use Hellion Hood, Hunter's Hood is still good for retaliate. Only important thing for Hunter's Hood to remember is that retaliate doesn't reduce. They will still do the same amount of damage to you, just they'll be getting the same damage they're doing to you as well to them. So basically that's that for this build. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that for future content. Let me know if any video, any like weapon overuse you want more. I'll basically try to do them all this month or even in 2. My next plan is just to do as many as I can the new artifact weapons, because there basically isn't any guides or whatever for the new artifact weapons, so I'll try to make them this week. So if you like this video, comment in section down below whatever you want, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.